Welcome to North Star Credit Union's Financial Compass podcast, guiding you towards financial wellness, hometown values, lifelong relationships, worldwide access.
All right, welcome back to the North Star Credit Union podcast, your financial compass. It's good to be back with you. We're back in the studio today. If you haven't watched last week's episode, check it out. We had kind of a fun one where we got outside the studio, and we were in our what we called like our backyard on the Iron Range and in our area, just doing some content outside the studio. It was a fun one. I had a blast doing it. So if you haven't seen that episode, go back and watch our previous episode. But we're back in the studio today, and we are so delighted. You know me, Drew. We have Jesse, Melissa, the trio, but we have another guest today, Haylie Nelson. Woo-hoo. Haylie, good morning. Good to have you with us.
Good morning.
Haylie is my hero, my mentor, and my teacher.
She is a teacher in so many different ways. Yes. Yeah. She was literally a teacher for a long time. Teaching what grade?
Mostly sixth, but I did fourth, third, and seventh grade math. So
wow. Which one was your favorite, Haylie, or don't you want to say?
I mean, they all had their own special
That's a
qualities,
good answer.
but I think sixth grade, just because that was like my hub and like my classroom setup was fabulous for sixth grade. So I think it was kind of a combination of that. And I got to have some of the kids again that I had in fourth grade. Aww. So I had repeat classes, so that was sweet too. So
and to see them grow and mature.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of teaching, so school has already started for most Northlanders across the Iron Range, and you happen to be a teacher, so we thought, perfect, we want you to teach us, Haylie, on what people can do to kind of, what resources does North Star have, North Star Credit Union, to kind of help families and schools with financial education?
Yeah, so just a little my background is obviously I was a teacher. Now at North Star, I do run our financial education program. So what that entails is teachers and community groups can invite me in or to their events to talk about financial education topics. And we cover a various amount of topics. We have different like games and activities we do with the kids. Currently, I am working on doing some lesson plans that are actually aligned with the state standards. So if I go into a classroom, what I'm teaching is actually what that grade needs to know based on Minnesota state standards. So we're trying to align those things. But yeah, we do a lot of games, activities, try to make it fun. There's some examples. We have a personality color quiz, financial Jeopardy. We have some of our loan department and stuff will go and talk about credit score or loans to like the upper grades, things like that.
How do I go back and become a student again? Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. Financial Jeopardy. Why didn't I get that?
Yeah, we should have Haylie on where we do that and see who's the most most financially smartest.
Yeah, we could have a contest with you three and just see who's going to win that one.
It's probably not going to be me.
Well, that's exciting. I didn't even know that you did that, and that's all through North Star.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
So, yeah, they can just contact me directly, and then get that set up, and we usually set up a time. I'm usually busiest in the spring, so if people can try and grab me in the fall, it's a little bit easier. My schedule's a little less, just because we do some other things in schools in the spring too. So,
So
that's awesome.
Haylie, why do you think financial education is so important to students and families during back to school season, or just in general, all the time?
I mean, yeah, I think it's always important. Back to school just kind of seems to be the time or season where it comes up in conversation. People and families are budgeting for all the back to school supplies, and the holidays are right around the corner. So people are getting ready for those kind of things. So it's just kind of on the mind. It is financial education. And so with school starting up, we're talking about all those things that we should learn and need to know, and things like that. Also, I kind of mentioned, I tried to plan my lessons to align with the state standards. So the state of Minnesota actually last year made it a requirement for kids going into ninth grade. They have to have a financial education credit to graduate. So the state of Minnesota also has now put more emphasis on it. So that's a
Wow.
big part of it too. And a lot of parents
So
aren't
this is like a
necessarily
new
going to
thing.
know that, but yeah.
This is a new thing that they're sort of instituting, like more financial education. Did I catch that right?
Yep. And it's just a credit. So a lot of schools are absorbing it, like they're adding it to their social studies curriculum, adding it to their math curriculum. I have seen one school that actually added a financial education course. So it was for half a semester. It was a whole class just on financial education.
Man,
So that's
that
kind
should
of cool.
be-
That's
Yeah.
so. I think that's so good. I just
Yeah.
think we just haven't done a lot of that. I mean, I don't know. When I was growing up, I mean, how much? I didn't have a lot of financial education. I feel like
No.
I've had to pick it up as I go. You kind of learn the hard way sometimes, and
A little bit,
being
yeah.
being a little bit older, I feel like I'm still sort of like I didn't know this. So that I just think it's great that you. Or that they're trying to do more of that in schools
Yeah,
because
I
I
do
just think it's
too.
so
I find
beneficial
that-
for people.
Impressive.
we had-
I mean, way to go,
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
This is going to date me, but I think we had check writing.
I remember that too, though.
Yeah.
Like 7th, 8th grade,
Yeah.
we learned
Yeah.
like how to balance a checkbook.
Yeah.
Right.
And a little bit, and we did a little bit with like interest rates and stuff in math class, but it wasn't, it was just learning how to do it, not like, okay, this is going to be in real life. Here's how you need to use this skill, or stuff.
Yeah,
like
is there
that.
anything more mortifying than being in line at the checkout grocery store with carts fulls, behind you, and you're trying to write out a check? Back when you were like a teenager and everyone's waiting for you to, am I doing this right?
Yeah.
Maybe it was just me. I don't know.
Well,
No, I totally remember that.
yeah, or even just not having the right amount with you, and then you're like, can you put this back, or can you put this back? That didn't happen to me, but it happened to someone in front of me, and I just gave them a little bit of cash because we've all been there. The other day I was at the supermarket checking out. It was my daughter's birthday, so I had this big cake, and guess what? I didn't have my wallet. Nobody said, hey, here's some money. I had to go leave the cart for this special ordered cake off to the side, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyways, that kind of stuff happens. I'm getting on a sidetrack.
So, they're teaching it in schools, which is awesome. But what if kids are homeschooled? What are some simple ways that parents can involve their kids in budgeting and figuring that out for at home, or just preparing kids for school? Like, hey, we can't get your Nike sneakers because we're going to budget for it, and here's how we do that. Some.
So
different-
honestly, it's just that simple. It's just adding it to your daily conversation. If we get this, we're not going to be able to get this, or that future planning. Remember, we're trying to save for this. You want these? We need to, that's not in our spending plan, so we're going to have to figure that out. And just using the language, and around kids, they understand more than they expect. We do a partnership with LSS and go into some of these classrooms together and do some of these teachings together. And they kind of told me that kids actually form their financial habits by 7 years old.
Wow.
So
Wow.
all that language they hear prior to that. Now, they don't need to know the ins and outs of, mom and dad make this much money and our bills are here. But just little things of oh, that's on sale. If we save $1 there, we could potentially go get this instead somewhere else, hearing that kind of give and take that we typically have internally, just voice it.
Yeah.
That is so interesting. The age 7, that's so early. I wouldn't have even thought of that. It makes me feel like I need to change some of the language in my own house to talk about it.
I might be getting too much into the weeds here, maybe a sort of an aside, but do you think that it's also sort of difficult for parents and kids in that, they do feel like they need to sort of measure up to their peers? There's so much peer comparison. So who's wearing what? Who has this? And
For sure.
do I need to make sure my kid has this? And then we maybe start getting I'm spending more than I should be because I want to make sure that my kid is sort of fitting in. I don't know if that's fair or not, but I think that must be tough for parents sometimes.
That is
just to,
a good
I
I
point.
think so
Drew.
too.
Yeah.
And just even admitting the reality of okay, maybe we can't
Yeah.
afford that, and admitting that to your kid too. Sometimes, I don't know how far you'd want to go with it, but yeah, sometimes that just, I mean, we do it too. You know, we're scrolling, we're seeing things and we want,
Yeah.
and we have the FOMO just like everyone else. Kids, same thing. So kind of giving them the internal dialogue that we face on that day-to-day basis of that stuff, you know, give them that same dialogue to use. So,
And they probably are going to be a lot more understanding and accepting than we feel they would be, or that we are. You know, like, you know.
yeah.
I remember in school I wanted a pair of Guess jeans so bad. Everybody had them, and that was the popular thing. And my mom went to a garage sale and found me a pair that fit my size, and I was so excited to have that. So I feel that a lot, you know.
Right.
I feel that.
There's something special about wearing something that you love, that, you know, or having something that makes you feel like, yeah, I mean, I'm one of the cool kids, or I'm fitting in, or whatever. That's a nice feeling. On the flip side, it's hard not, you know, to be in a situation where you don't have that, you know, and a parent to say, like, you know, we can't afford that. I'm sorry, but, you know, trying to educate them.
But also giving them a reason. Kids are so much more empathetic than we understand. Like, giving them the reason we can't afford that. You know, like, this is where our money goes, and this is how much we have extra. And, you know, if we want to go, or if we want this at Christmas, we might not be able to afford those jeans or that pair of Nike shoes or whatever at full price. Hey, let's still look for them, but we can go secondhand. We can try find Facebook Marketplace or, you know, whatever. Things like that.
It would be a great way to educate kids and just teach them young, even like you maybe can't always have what you want that makes you feel like you can measure up to everyone else. You know, I mean, we all do this as adults, as kids.
And then just
Melissa,
telling,
you trying to say something?
because this kind of hits in a spot where I think about for kids that you just want them to know to be individually you. Like, you don't need the best things of everything. Just be a good person. Be yourself. You know, if you're funny, be funny. If you're into science, be the best that you can be, and just try really hard at the things that make you happy. And you don't need to wear the best labels. Like, I just don't want any kids to just feel disappointed, because you are special no matter what you wear, no matter what you look like. There's something about you that other people don't have that you can't buy at a store. So I could talk about this all day long, just because I've seen so much how this can impact kids in my own extended family, and see how that impacts their daily lives. So sorry, that's my little PSA for today.
It's a great PSA. And as 4 adults here, we can all agree that after high school, it truly doesn't matter if you had the Gerbo jeans or the Guess or the butterfly pant. You know, like, it really, it may seem very important right now, but it won't be soon. So just hang in there.
And just those conversations that parents can have with kids about all of that. You know, they might not understand right now, but in a few years, they're going to understand, and it's going to be okay. So, yeah.
And then you've been talking about the ways for parents to get involved, and then kids are already learning their habits at 7. So what else can you do to help them start building good money habits? What kind of ways can you teach them?
Obviously, as a teacher, like, I'm a big proponent, like, read books. There's so many books out there on, like, saving. Selfish plug, Stars books, or, you know, any budgeting books. There's so many books about just, you know, like, hey, we made this money, we're going to put, like, this penny aside or whatever. Starting those little tiny habits, you know, they get money for their birthday. You know, hey, we're going to put X amount away, and we're going to save that for something, and or just to save it and see how much we can build up. So just starting those little tiny conversations and habits early helps a lot too.
Pays off.
It does.
In the end.
I see what you did there. Oh, ho, ho.
Jesse's on it this morning. She
Thank
just
you,
had
Jesse.
turbo coffee
Just
or
what
something.
we needed. Pays off.
For sure.
So you were
played.
saying, so schools can get a hold of you, parents can get a hold of you. How do they get a hold of you?
So the easiest is email. I'm kind of in all of our branches right now, so email is the best. It's just hnelson@northstarcreditunion.org. Also, you can just call your local branch and they know where to find me. So, but yeah,
yes,
my schedule. Yeah, my schedule's kind of everywhere, so I'm in all the branches kind of all the time. So email is really the best and quickest. But yeah, teachers, community groups, we've done preschools, like MOPS groups, anything, homeschool groups. If you want to have us come in and chat about stuff, we can. Like I said, we have a variety of topics, so we can pick a specific topic, or if you just want me to focus on a grade level situation, we can do that too. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's so exciting. It's so great for the credit union to have you and your background and your skills and bring that to the community. I always think that we're so lucky and fortunate to have Haylie on board. She can truly do anything and train anyone on anything. I mean, she just really has a knack for it. And so it's just really exciting that we can bring that to the community and schools.
Yeah. And so patient. There were so many times when when Haylie was training and I'm like, here's my finger going towards the wrong button, and she's like, no. But so kind, and then I'd be like, click here, and I'd click and she'd be like, nope.
That reminds me of like a Homer Simpson, like a episode of The Simpsons where Homer Simpson, like there's that big button and he's like, ooh.
I want to touch it.
Don't touch the button.
Don't touch it. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to touch it now. Sorry.
But yeah, you're so patient and kind, and you are a very good teacher. I mean, so schools, communities, and everybody, if you're listening or watching, Haylie, she's your go-to. H. Nelson at NorthstarCreditUnion.org.
Is there anything else, Haylie, that we didn't talk about that you want to add, or any areas of expertise you want to showcase?
I don't think so. I just think I'm super excited that the state of Minnesota is adding this to standards and getting it in there. But I do think it does start at home. So starting those conversations with kids early, as hard as they might be, and you might feel silly voicing those things, but I think it's super important to just start those conversations way earlier than you think, which is kind of everything, I feel like sometimes. But So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Haylie. We hope, we hope everyone has learned something today from the podcast. Again, parents, we know maybe it's a huge task just to parent, but also just financial well-being and teaching your kids, good financial values, and it kind of falls on you as a big responsibility. And we're certainly do what we can in our schools, but we know that it maybe isn't easy at times, so that's why we're hopefully here today to give you some encouragement, some advice. If anything, just know that we're cheering for you. But Haylie, thanks again for joining the podcast today. We are so lucky to have you at North Star, as we've said. If we missed it, Haylie's our trainer here, so yeah, she continues doing like her teaching all of us here at the credit union.
Big kids now.
Yeah, big kids,
yeah, exactly. And you're so good at it. And I can't help but also mention that Haylie is also going to be a mama real soon. Is a mama. She's going to have her first, November, Haylie, isn't that right?
Yep, November 17th. So
we're pumped for you. So that is so cool. So congratulations to you guys. So
congratulations.
But to all of our listeners, watchers, thank you for joining us today. Thank you to all of our teachers, our faculty in the schools for all you do for our kids. To all you parents, wish you the best this school year, and to you kids, make it a good one. But thank you for joining the North Star Credit Union podcast today. Until next time, from all of us here, have a good week and have a good school year.
Have a fun weekend. Bye-bye.
Tune into YouTube, Spotify, and Apple for new episodes, or find the link on our website at NorthstarCreditUnion.org.